In a world gripped by escalating tensions, a pivotal question hangs heavy. US and Iran, are we on the brink of nuclear war? The recent passage of House Resolution 559 by the US House of Representatives has ignited global concerns. This resolution unequivocally states that a nuclear Islamic Republic of Iran is intolerable to the US, leading to a flurry of questions. Why this sudden urgency? Is Iran's uranium enrichment truly a threat, or is there more to the story? Join me as we dissect this web of events.
Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion.
Let's rewind to last Wednesday, a day that marked a significant turn of events in the ongoing tensions between US and Iran. The US House of Representatives dropped a bombshell by passing House Resolution 559. This resolution boldly declares that a nuclear Islamic Republic of Iran is absolutely off the table. But here's the kicker. The resolution doesn't stop there. It practically shouts from the rooftops that the US is willing to pull out all the stops, including military action, to prevent Iran from getting their hands on nuclear weapons. It declares a firm policy. A nuclear Islamic Republic of Iran is not acceptable. But why is the US so deeply concerned about Iran's nuclear ambitions? A question that lingers in the minds of many. Iran's enrichment of uranium has raised alarms, with the Internal Atomic Energy Agency confirming in May that Iran continues to enrich uranium to 60% purity. The resolution, however, goes a step further, citing IAEA investigators who found uranium particles enriched to a staggering 83.7% in January, a discrepancy that makes us pause, questioning the accuracy of the information at hand. You see, the document states that in January 2023, IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi said that one thing is true, that they have amassed enough nuclear material for several nuclear weapons. Now keep these dates in mind. They say they already knew this in January, and that's how long the US have been knowing this since January. But when Rafael Grossi discussed this issue in March 2023, he went to Iran and gave a press conference where he was specifically asked about Iran enriching uranium to 60%, and his answer was very much of, "That's okay." In March 2023, Grossi visited Iran, and when questioned about Iran's enrichment at 60%, Grossi surprisingly shrugged off concerns, stating that Iran doesn't need to explain itself to the US.
Enrichment activities up to 60%. Been in detail, technical detail, have you been discussing this with the heads of state you have been meeting regarding that it is hardly to explain an enrichment program to this extent with a non-military enrichment program? Have they been able to give you an explanation for that?
Well, in fact, they don't need to give me an explanation of why they enrich at 60%. What we need to ensure is that we have the necessary ability to inspect the activities there. They enriched at the levels that they declare. There are certain parameters, as you know, between an inspected state and the IAEA. They tell us this is what we are going to do, and then we perform the necessary inspections. So in that regard, in terms of motivations and reasons, which I believe is a little bit behind your question, we don't discuss that. For us, what is important, the only thing that matters is that we are able to inspect, that we are able to account for every gram of enriched material that is there. And this is the spirit of the exchanges, and we have been working satisfactorily in that regard. There have been other types of issues, and as you know, but they are not directly related to this particular issue.
A statement that contradicts the claims made in the House resolution, raising suspicions about the motives behind the escalating tensions. So if he is not worried, then why is the Congress? Is it possible that the US is setting a stage for the war with Iran based on a false flag? Fast forward to the recently escalated tensions between Iran and the US, it might be that Putin rubbed salt on Biden's wounds. Adding fuel to the fire, the US passed not one, but 3 threats to Iran in a single day. Pentagon Press Secretary Air Force Brigadier General Pat Ryder expressed concerns about attacks on US and coalition forces by Iranian proxy forces indicating a potential escalation in the near future.
We know that the groups conducting these attacks are supported by the IRGC and the Iranian regime. What we are seeing is the prospect for more significant escalation.
The second threat came from the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who reinforced the message, emphasizing that the US would defend its personnel swiftly and decisively if attacked.
If Iran or its proxies attack US personnel anywhere, make no mistake, we will defend our people, we will defend our security, swiftly and decisively.
The third threat came from the National Security Council spokesman, John Kirby, echoing the sentiment, highlighting Iran's alleged complicity in the situation.
Nobody's turning a blind eye to Iran's complicity. Their support for these militia groups in Iraq and Syria, their support for terrorists throughout the region. We have addressed that through additional sanctions. We have addressed it through additional military.
For the unaware, these threats came soon after Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited Tehran, strengthening ties between Russia and Iran. Shoigu said, "We are aiming at an entire range of planned activities, despite opposition from the United States and its Western allies. Sanctions pressure on Russia and Iran shows its futility, while Russian-Iranian interaction is reaching a new level." Shoigu met Iran's top security official Ali Akbar Ahmadian on Wednesday, which is exactly the day when US passed 3 threats to Iran in a single day. Russia and Iran talked about a wide range of topics, especially the developments in the Caucasus region. Russia's Minister of Defense also visited the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force on Wednesday. He met the head of the Aerospace Force, Amir Ali Hazizadeh, and Iran's drones, missiles, and air defense systems were also displayed to him. Despite opposition from the Western world, Russia and Iran are forging ahead with planned activities, irking the US further. This growing alliance appears to be a cause for concern in Washington, possibly prompting the US to consider drastic measures, including the possibility of war with Iran. As we navigate through these complex developments, one question remains: are we indeed on the brink of a nuclear war between US and Iran? With Iran and Russia striking up an alliance, the US seems less than thrilled. It looks like Uncle Sam might be gearing up for a brawl. Stay tuned for a comprehensive analysis of the situation, shedding light on the events that could shape our future.